This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Police to beef up manpower in certain parts of the country. Leilani Konjip receives Telecom's People's Choice Awards. And PNG to host Manny Pacquiao and Anthony Mundine in 2023. Good evening, this is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. Police personnel in the Western Highlands province have launched their Christmas and New Year operations today at the Kimninga Police Barracks in Mount Hagen. Present at the launch were all police personnel, including mobile squads, rural police station commands and all other policing divisions within the Western Highlands province.
The Provincial Police Commander for the Western Highlands Province has confirmed with MTV News via telephone today that all his men and women, including other security personnel, have all assembled for the parade launch of the Christmas and New Year special operations.
I'm just about to kickstart my Christmas and New Year launching of the operations. My men and women are now on the parade here at Kimlinga Barracks. The parade is comprised of the mobile squads, and the rural police station commands, all the Tambul Nebilia, their council, Mulbaya Lumusa, all the police personnel from the rural areas, they are here. And with the Mount Hagen police station frontline, the public safety division comprising of task force, mobile patrol, general duties, all section prosecution CID. We are now here at the parade ground at Kimninga Police Barracks. We are now launching the Christmas and New Year operations. Present with us also is the members of the PNGDF. Our operation after this parade, we are kickstarting the Christmas and New Year operation for this festive period.
PPC Superintendent Sagom has also confirmed that there will be a total liquor ban in the province during the festive season.
Definitely, there's going to be restrictions for liquor during the entire festive period and also afterwards. It would take about 3 months of liquor restrictions.
The police boss in Western Highlands Province further added that Mount Hagen City has been quiet, and he thanked all community leaders and the general public for the good behavior of residents and communities there. He has appealed to youths in the province to celebrate the true meaning of Christmas with family and friends and to refrain from unruly behaviors. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Festive operations in West New Britain province has commenced and is well into its second week. According to Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector John Iara, police manpower will be beefed up in certain parts of the province, especially in Biala, where it is a known criminal hotspot.
PPC Yara said the Divisional Commander for the New Guinea Islands region and Assistant Commissioner Pero Drano officiated at the launching parade of their festive season operations last week. He added, with the recent breakdown of law and order issues in the province, they have identified hotspot areas where police will be frequenting during this festive period. He added his men have commenced foot patrol and motorized patrols around communities in the province. PPC Yara said Kimbe-based Mobile Squad Task Force 19 has been sent to Biala for the Christmas and New Year operations, while all other units will conduct regular patrols throughout the province. MTV News understands committee members of the Liquor Licensing Board have met yesterday to bring into effect liquor ban throughout the West New Britain province. PPC Yara said police will not hesitate to severely deal with anyone who comes in dispute with the law. PPC Yara concluded by appealing to everyone in the province to take ownership of law and order and to celebrate Christmas in the true spirit of love. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Telecom Limited officiated its title handover to the Miss Pacific Islands pageant PNG Telecom's People's Choice Awards recipient today at the Telecom headquarters in Port Moresby. The recipient is Miss Rapopo and Sanctuary Hotels Leilani Konjip. Present at the event was the crowned Miss PNG Josie Nicholas, the Miss Pacific Islands pageant chairlady Miss Molly O'Rourke, and Telecom Limited staff.
Telecom Limited, as the official communications partner for the Miss Pacific Islands pageant 2022, handed over the Telecom People's Choice Award to its recipient. Leilani Konjip, who contested the beauty pageant as Miss Rapopo and Sanctuary Resort, won with over 30,000 Telecom user voters who voted for her. Present to officiate the ceremony was Telecom's acting CEO and Corporate Services General Manager Silas Matoli.
The opportunity and promote the talent that we have here in this country. I know we have a lot of work to be done to get our young ones and identify the talents that they have and give them the opportunity in a lifetime to be somebody better and our brand ambassadors and to be better citizens in the future.
Konjip acknowledged the people who voted for her and thanked Telecom Limited for this initiative. On behalf of the Miss Pacific Islands pageant, Chairlady Molly O'Rourke commended Telecom's support to the beauty pageant.
It is responses like you that allows us to, or gives us the drive and the determination to be able to do what we do for young women such as Josie and Leilani. So your support this year has not gone unnoticed. Please know that we value you.
The sales and marketing manager Nathaniel Lepani stated that Telecom will continue its support in the years ahead.
We look forward to continuing our role and support of MPIP while you continue to empower PNG women into the future.
Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
The Teaching Service Commission with the PNG Teachers Association had a meeting today to discuss issues that the teachers are facing throughout the country. The basic things that were discussed were teachers missing out on the 3% increment and also log-off claims for teachers, among others.
PNG Teachers Association President Aita Sanenkepe says the PNGTA still needs to have its own database for teachers in order to address their concerns. He says they cannot get it from the National Department of Education or the Teaching Service Commission and emphasized that they need their own. The teachers have also missed out from the 3% increment that was given to all public servants in the country. This issue has already been brought to the Department of Personnel Management by TSC, and the PNGTA will follow up and make sure teachers get their share before resumption date comes 2023. Chairman for PNG Teaching Service Commission, Samson Wangihomi, asked the PNGTA team to work together and unite for the good of the teachers and the association and also to raise concerns. Wangihomi says teachers' welfare is important and must be looked at. He called for collaboration between TSC and PNGTA for the best interest of teachers in PNG. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Eviction has started at the Malahang and Waihee area portion 354 in Lae yesterday for the Evangelical Lutheran Church owned land. ELC PNG Secretary Bernard Kaisom said most of the church land around the country are illegally occupied and the decision to take back this land comes from Synod.
Kaisom says a court order was taken by the church in 2011 restraining the defendant, previous landowner, to sell land, but he kept on selling land to people. What he was doing was in contempt of the court order. The order was then followed through, and in March of this year, the court granted an eviction and has given the settlers 4 months to vacate the land.
Per the legal process, the 40 days of appeal was over, and the church lawyers advised us that there was no appeal. And then in November, the defendant did a last attempt to get a stay order, which the National Court again refused.
Kaisom says ample time was given for settlers and businesses to remove their structures before the church moved in to recoup their land.
To be humane as possible, by giving them that time, so that they can, the people living there, the businesses, they can remove their own structures within the time frame.
A Bangladesh businessman who owned 2 shops at the Malahang area, which was destroyed, says properties worth millions, including goods, were destroyed.
Destroy everything. Inside all workman may work stuff. Even family member belong to all beginning all stuff here. We try saving our cargo. But kiram no good on Sunday one or 2 kilo kabda. Time to broken everything.
The eviction is part of the church's move to take back its properties, mainly land. It started at Nagada in Madang and moved to Leh, and they are planning on recouping all the church's assets right around the country. Meanwhile, the Evangelical Church of PNG leaders are calling on people living along the Malahang and Waite area to stop threatening them because of the eviction in the area that was granted by the court.
Don't threaten us. It's not mine. It's the church's house.
Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. Kuyari landowners are to receive 30% for the water and power they provide from their land to the nation's capital and are set to receive outstanding funds. This was made known yesterday by Prime Minister James Marape during the launching of the Hiri Koyari Development Plan. The announcement was received with much delight by those in attendance.
This is the Sirinumu Dam based in the large fertile mountains of Upper Sogeri. This dam from the headwater flows down to the catchment area, then down to Sogeri Central and Rana Power Plant, which has provided water and power to government houses and the general public in Port Moresby for over 40 years. In the past, the local Koyari landowners, in a bid to be heard, have often resorted to shutting down the Sirinumu Dam or pipes to have their cries heard by those at Waigani. The actions of closing the dam may now be a thing of the past, with the Prime Minister taking a proactive role in recognizing the Hiri Koyari people yesterday at the APEC House.
I want to conclude with this one. Not to Koyari words and people of Koyari Hiri, they must be drive of businesses in on land. That is why under a Pangu URP-led coalition, we were able to give back 10% of what will be added around back to the people. Policy decision has already been made. 10% belongs to Central Province, 10% belongs to NCD, 20% belongs to the landowners of the Koyari and down the project area footprint. We will work on this structure simply because we want our people to be equity holders, our people to be drivers of business, our people to own business.
According to the Hiri Koyari member Keith Irihu, based on an NEC decision 356 in 2013, 10 million kina is ex gratis payment, which is outstanding.
10 million was paid already to Sidco and Rodpo. What's outstanding in that ex gratia payment is another 5 million for Hogeri, another 5 million for Central Sogeri. Okay? That's one. To the other side, of course, is the decision also accommodates for its sustainable distribution. So the thinking has been that we should have something analogous or similar to the PNG-LNG benefit structure.
The local MP admitted that the breakup of the 30%, which is made up of 20% stake in Water PNG Limited, which is merged with Eraranu, and 10% stake from the revenue generated from the water utility, is a conversation better left to the powers. But he did signal out his plans.
This is quite pleasing. You heard from the Prime Minister himself to avail 30%. So that 30%, if we were to deal with it, we would propose that it be set up under subsidiary. 2 subsidiaries that accommodates for relevant to these PNG power assets and other water PNG assets in this domicile, right? So it's not carrying the other assets in the other parts of the country, but just confined to our area.
The Koyari landowners have been providing water and power supply to the city of Port Moresby and its surrounding areas for 40 years. The Marape government's move to be proactive has been met with praise from local landowners. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
The Cultural Commission has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Paradise Palette at the Australian High Commission this morning. This MOU is to help expose PNG artists to the international markets and exhibition.
Australia will play host to most of the exhibitions in the coming years to give PNG artists exposure at the international stage. Chief Executive Officer for National Cultural Commission, Stephen Kilanda, explains the importance of such partnerships.
It will, I think most of the artists in this country they haven't been to any formal education. Some of them they don't even went to grade 1. But they can do brilliant paintings. They're very talented. So we as a government, we see that a government agency that coordinates and looks after the cultural affairs, arts industry in this country, we see that it's important to partner with people like Dawn and Paradise Palette to put up more exhibition in Australia and even other parts of the Pacific Islands as well.
He says most of the events will be held in Australia and therefore the Australian Eye Commission is being involved in this program. Kilanda further says as a way of this government to help the talented local artists, it has created a pathway for them through the partnership between Paradise Palette and NCC. Curator for Paradise Palette, Don Wotton, highlighted what they will be doing going forward with the partnership.
But what we're aiming for is art for a domestic market, and so we're looking for very creative artworks, very imaginative designs, and something just a little bit different. Artwork that people will be happy to put in their homes or their offices or their businesses. I think there's a fantastic opportunity out there. It's just providing the artist with those opportunities through exhibitions in different centres.
He says they are trying to help in exposing the PNG talents as well as creating platforms for international buyers to buy the creative artistic work that is done by Papua New Guineans. Mr. Kilanda says there will be exhibitions in 2025 to commemorate PNG's Golden Jubilee in Port Moresby and Brisbane respectively. He says prior to those exhibitions, there will be smaller ones coming up in May and August in Cairns, Darwin and Brisbane before the bigger one in 2025. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Octedi Mining Limited has announced that a dividend of PNG 300 million kina will be paid to shareholders on or before 31st December 2022, with further extension from the mine life from 2030 to 2033. OTML Chairman Dr. Roger Higgins made this following announcement in a press statement yesterday.
Despite the tough economic situation experienced, some companies tend to thrive. OTML Chairman Dr. Roger Higgins highlighted that Octedi remains profitable and continues to deliver for their shareholders. Dr. Higgins also said that the company has been looking forward to copper grade improving by more than 20% in 2023 as the transition continues. He added that the further extension of mine life from 2023 to 2033 in the latest strategic business plan recently approved by the OTML board gives rise to growing optimism. Dr. Higgins concluded by noting that the company also continues to investigate further mine life extension scenarios. Higgins also acknowledged the employees, contract partners and mine-impacted communities for their support throughout 2022. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
Chairman of NESFAN, Tamzin Wardley, has announced the appointment of Mr. Rajiv Sharma as the new NESFAN CEO to take over from current CEO Ian Tarutia. Mr. Tarutia retires on the 31st of March 2023. The NESFAN board at its meeting on the 8th of December 2022 resolved to promote the current Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Rajiv Sharma, to the CEO role commencing 1st of April 2023.
The board and its Remunerations and Nomination Committee conducted an exhaustive and high-caliber recruitment process that attracted nearly 100 candidates from both international and domestic markets before selecting Mr. Sharma. Outgoing CEO Ian Tarutia said Mr. Sharma is known to all staff and key stakeholders and has worked closely with him. Mr. Tarutia highlighted that for 7 years he worked as a Chief Financial Officer and recently, since February of this year, as a Chief Operating Officer. He added that he remains confident that Sharma will lead the fund and all the staff well with the support and guidance of the NESFAN board over the next phase of the fund's growth. The board will continue its succession planning program for the CEO and senior management positions to ensure the fund has a strong pipeline of competent professionals to assume leadership roles of key functions into the future. Sharon Engnui, National EMTV News.
BSP will continue to improve its services to its customers going forward. Outgoing BSP CEO Robin Fleming, who will call time on his distinguished career at the end of this month, has revealed that long queues at BSP branches along with electronic services to certain parts of the country will be improved.
The man whose name and face is synonymous with BSP has revealed that BSP will continue to improve its standards in providing services to stakeholders and the general public. BSP CEO Robin Fleming told reporters recently that there is need for improvement.
To improve those queues, a $1.75 billion in profit last year was a great financial outcome, but we also recognise we've got to improve the service. Daniel and his team doing a lot of work on managing the queues, the concierging, but we do have to help ourselves sometimes.
The man who has spearheaded BSP's transformation to a 21st century bank paid tribute to the bank's electronic products despite the challenges faced in the country.
Our digital products are fantastic. We get challenged when PNG power goes off. We get challenged when the communication data lines aren't necessarily as good as they should be anywhere outside of Pargan or Wapanamanda or Mending. But we'll continue to provide services.
Next year, commercial banks will pay a tax rate of 45%, which Mr. Fleming says can be seen as disincentive for potential new banking entrants into the sector. And despite the tax, BSP is moving on with improving customer service.
Possibly government could stop issuing cheques. Possibly we could stop getting cash from the DSIPs and TSIPs to reduce cash in the economy. Possibly all businesses could take advantage of internet banking to reduce the need to have to go to the bank. We'll do what we can to offer those digital services, but we do have to go halfway with our customers.
BSP today owns 65% of the market share in PNG and has expanded to the Cook Islands, Fiji, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, Vanuatu, Cambodia and Laos. It now has a life insurance company, a finance company and capital management company employing around 4,500 staff, all managed from PNG, with almost 85% of stakeholders being from PNG. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NESFAN market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2840 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2765 US, $0.4098 Australian dollars, $0.2532 euro, 37.41 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. A first P&O cruise ship is earmarked for Morobe Province in February of 2023. Salamaua LLG in the UN Gulf District is the first LLG to support the program for a cruise liner to visit the province. Salamaua LLG President Kolo Matias has supported the ecotourism consultancy services to bring tourists into the province.
Ecotourism Consultancy Services, under the directorship of Francis Stephen, has set a mark of more than 270,000 kina for the event to be launched and staged, with support already coming from the Huon Gulf District, Makam, Bulolo, Nawai districts and the Lay City Authority. Francis says this is an historical moment for Morobe Province because the year 2023 Ecotourism Master Cultural Calendar will create seasonal employment of 200 permanent personnel in one district and more than 1,000 participants as product owners, taking lead as tourist guides and providing security. He further stated that the SME Ecotourism Cultural Calendar for the year 2023 is inclusive for all 10 districts of Morobe Province and is out and is targeting P&O cruise ships to bring tourists to Morobe Province. An estimated 5,000 tourists classified as retired people will dock in Morobe Province to visit sites of tourism potential under several packages in line with the annual schedule calendar 2023 designed by Ecotourism Consultancy Services. An estimated figure of 10 million kina plus in revenue is expected to be derived from the arrival of tourists from the program. Cynthia Maku, National EMTV News.
And moving overseas, an air and sea search continues in the Gulf of Thailand for 31 Thai Navy sailors who went missing during a storm.
Sukhothai has continued overnight. 3 Navy vessels as well as 2 helicopters have been searching the Gulf of Thailand since Sunday night, but rescue efforts have been hampered by strong winds and large waves, the same conditions that caused the small warship to capsize in the first place. Yesterday, 75 of the 106 crew members were rescued and brought to shore. The Royal Thai Navy says some of them have suffered serious injuries and are being treated at hospitals on both sides of the Gulf, while others have been sent back to their naval base at Sattahip, around 200 kilometres southeast of Bangkok. Survivors have been speaking about their ordeal and the difficult rescue mission to pluck them from the water. One man said that he jumped off the ship and was in the water for around 3 hours before help arrived. He said the waves were about 3 metres high, and that made the mission to rescue him and some of his crewmates around him very difficult. Indeed, he said, the Royal Thai Navy is very much focused on the rescue mission at this point, but has announced that there will be a full investigation into what caused this disaster in due course. Thai media are reporting this is the first sinking of a Thai Navy ship since World War II.
Former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd has been appointed Australia's next ambassador to the United States. 5 people
good, solid relationships with Democrats and Republicans alike, as well as figures from the media and business communities. He also says his new position won't be dissimilar to the work that he's currently doing as the president of the Asia Society based in New York City. Now, while Mr. Rudd has extensive foreign affairs experience, a deep interest in foreign affairs, his appointment today will raise a few eyebrows. He remains a divisive character in Labor Party circles. Now, the more colourful, perhaps contentious aspects of his time in government have been well documented. When asked today if he was concerned about this, the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese dismissed any concerns, saying that Mr. Rudd has unmatched experience and will help open doors in Washington.
Kevin Rudd is an outstanding appointment. He brings a great deal of credit to Australia by agreeing to take up this position as a former Prime Minister, as a former Foreign Minister, as someone who's been head of the Asia Society, as someone who has the links with the global community based in Washington DC will be a major asset in working to assist the Foreign Minister, as other ambassadors do, in their job.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kendino, along with his board members, held a press conference today following an annual international boxing conference held in Abu Dhabi, which he attended. This was followed by the official announcement of the PNG Boxing Union 2023 corporate calendar.
Some of the key factors discussed during the 2022 annual International Boxing Conference held in Abu Dhabi included digital transformation of boxers, promotion of women participation in boxing, and the staging of more hyper-sanctioned boxing tournaments in 2023. These were highlighted by PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kendino today during the press conference.
Elite boxers to be targeting various tournaments that IBA runs, where they'll be actually paid money, because all this time it's been just basically amateur only. The technicalities of how much they'll be paid, who are the promoters, who are the managers, will be confirmed over the next 6 months or so.
The official announcement of the PNG Boxing Union official corporate calendar 2023 was also done by the PNG Boxing Union General Secretary, Mr. Martin Leary.
Union calendar 2023 to 2024 is a progressive calendar. So as events happen, we will adjust them as we go along. We need to be realistic. A lot of these events that we'd love to attend is dependent on funding. So the calendar that we have is, as I said, it's adjustable based on this challenging.
President Kendino, in his closing remarks, shared his Christmas greetings to the rest of the boxing community throughout the country.
I'd like to wish all the boxing community in Papua New Guinea, all the boxers, coaches, trainers, managers and all the executives, a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
Under the Oceania Fight Promotions, PNG will host for the first time an international tournament where two world-recognized international world champions, Anthony Mandin from Australia and Manny Pacquiao of Philippines, will meet on PNG soil for an exhibition match come 2023.
Accompanying a group of Australian professional boxers and other Australian delegation to PNG to compete in an international fight night in Port Moresby was former NRL star and three-time world boxing champion from Australia, Anthony Mandin. Mandin, who was a special guest on the night, now has an event ahead of him where he will now get back to training to prepare himself for the fight set up by the Oceania Fight Promotions come 2023. Mandin, who is a three-time world champion, will fight against his fellow international and former professional world boxing champion Manny Pacquiao from the Philippines, who defeated 22 world champions in the past in his boxing career. He has 39 knockout wins and 3 knockout losses. These two international and former professional world boxing champions will meet in PNG for the first time, an event organized by local boxing franchise and promoter the Oceania Fight Promotions. The event is set to set precedents for PNG boxing when it comes to hosting international matches in the country. The event is also promoted to highlight and expose PNG talents, attract international promoters, and create a pathway for PNG professional fighters to travel and fight abroad. Details of this tournament by the Oceania Fight Promotions will be made available come next year, 2023.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Southern Region 9's tournament completed its Day 2 playoffs yesterday afternoon and played its final regular rounds competition today at the Santos National Football Stadium. Tomorrow we'll see the top 16 teams compete for the plate, while another 16 will compete for the cup.
The glamorous Rovanama team is currently topping the 2022 Southern Region 9's tournament after the completion of regular rounds today at the Santos National Football Stadium. Southern 9's founder and director, Mr. Ivan Rabu, gave a highlight of the progress of the tournament this afternoon.
Here the top teams like Rovanama, Siporo Magpies, and a couple of the new teams like Viriola Sharks have really done well, so they're in that top division. So it'll depend on how they go tomorrow to whether they qualify for the semi-finals in the cup division.
The tournament is set for quarterfinals, which will commence playoff tomorrow at the Santos National Football Stadium, while the semi-finals and the grand finals are scheduled for 22nd of December 2022. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern Region, Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Alatau, cloudy periods with brief showers. Popondetta, cloudy period with brief showers. In the Momase Region, Ley and Madang, cloudy periods with brief showers. Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands Region, Loringau, Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy periods with brief showers and possible thunderstorm. KVN, cloudy periods with few showers. Buka, partly cloudy. Kimbe, cloudy periods with some rain showers and thunderstorm. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka and Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with few rain showers, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, the 20th of December 2022. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.